What is up, everybody? This is B-Rad, the Gold Dad. Hey guys, we are going to set up today on the creek. We're gonna run both those blue sluices. We're gonna have results, and we are gonna come back and tell you which one should be recommended. I think they're gonna both be pretty much the same, but if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend a whole lot on a sluice, this will be the perfect opportunity for you. All right, it is a beautiful January day for this time of year, and we are out in the Denver metro area, and gosh, it is just a beautiful place to be. You'll see here I have my sluice in the water. That is the California drop riffle sluice. So what are we waiting for? Let's go find some shine. All right, guys, I found the gold I wanted to dig, and here you'll see I'm running it shovel for shovel, green scoop for green scoop, just so I can learn the box, test the box, learn what I'm supposed to be doing and how they should be run properly. I will tell you that at the end of the day, this sluice box really impressed me. It is hard to see your gold since the drop riffles are so large, but you'll see with this one, you can actually run unclassified material up to about an inch and it'll handle it just fine. I have pretty slow water movement here, but it was enough to not only run this sluice exactly the way that it should be ran, but provide me the results that I was looking for. All in all, this is a great sluice. I'm impressed with the performance, and I would honestly recommend it to anybody who's experienced and or a beginning prospector. We're gonna go ahead and clean up after about a 2-bucket run, and we're gonna see what is in the box. This box cleans up fairly easily. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it comes in at a solid 7. It doesn't really take too much time, and it is really easy to maneuver without spilling your cons all over the place. So that is a huge plus. It does produce a little more cons that I'm used to, so there is a fair amount, so be warned that there will be more to pan through. However, I did not find it extra challenging, but it did take a little bit more time, so depending on how proficient and fast you want to be, that could be a con for you. So when you're shopping for a sluice, just keep all these factors in mind. You guys were with me when I did this, and you guys seen. So here's the result of that little run. So I would say a big thumbs up to the drop riffle sluice because it is catching small itty bitty stuff, and there's gold all through the cons. There's all different sizes, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, guys, now we're gonna move on to the La Trappe, and we're gonna get this thing put in the water. And guys, I was amazed. It just plopped right in there, 0 issues. Super simple. High quality H2O. Time to haul buckets, so we're gonna run the same amount of buckets, unclassified. I did pick out the big rocks. This way we can give our material more uniformity. This was my first time running the La Trappe, and here's bucket number 1. So we're gonna go ahead and put this through and see how this goes. I did notice that if the sluice gets off balance for any reason, the material will try to slough off to one side, but that's easily correctable. So I wouldn't keep feeding it, or else you'll see, like I see here, the gold and the cons try to fall out to one side, leaving an exposed area in your riffle system. So just keep that in mind to be on top of your sluice and make sure it's not moving on you and that you have it firmly planted. So we're gonna finish up this bucket and we'll get one more, and after that we'll do a cleanup. Now that we're finished digging bucket number 2, let's haul it back to the sluice. So if you're like me, you happen to think that hauling buckets of wet dirt around is just the worst, but it does pay off, so stick with it, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. This is the actual way you should run your sluice and not overload it, because when you do, the riffles will not process. You might catch a little bit of gold by default, but for the majority of the gold that goes in and out of the box, the riffles will not process the material and it will go right in and right out. And trust me, you work too hard for you to lose any of the gold. Now, as far as the cleanup goes, it was about the same as the California drop riffle. Now, the one thing I do want to note is that the La Trappe does make noticeably less concentrates, so it's a little bit better in that aspect. However, you really can't go wrong with either sluice, so either one is a great option. My friends, the proof is in the pudding, right?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
So, choice is up to you. Alright, my party people, it's time to process our cons from the day on the Mini 6 Power Sluice. And I gotta tell you, I never ever get tired of seeing that gold float down into the micro combo mat like this. It just is such a beautiful thing to see for all the hard work you did in that day. As you can see here, we fared pretty well with both of these sluices, so it's safe to assume that their capture rate is really good. Well, alright guys, that wraps this up for the Battle of the Plastic Fantastic. And remember, there ain't nothing to it with the way that I do it, so go out and find some shine.